Good morning. We're going to change things up a little bit at work the next day or two. I noticed that my business partner, he's starting to get stressed out quite a bit. I seen it in his face and kind of how he was holding himself and stuff. And I said, brother, you got to let me take the floor for a couple weeks. You got to move up to the office. Just let me have the floor. I've been coming back here a lot recently anyway, with stuff that you guys are having a hard time with, can't get out. I've been coming back here and I've been getting involved. You just need to go up front and take care of the customer stuff, sell the jobs, kind of work on organizing paperwork and stuff like that, and let me take the floor for a little bit. Let me kind of guide the guys on the floor with the bigger repairs and kind of oversee things, give you a little break from the shop. And he was like, yeah, I think it's a good idea. It's a good idea. I need a break. So the next couple weeks I'll be on the floor, he'll be up front. So when you guys are calling and stuff, you're trying to directly get a hold of me, which that's been happening a lot lately. Kind of when I ask for a little bit more understanding and not calling up asking for me all the time, it got better for about a week, and then it went right back to it again. And people calling up, "Is that rich guy there, that Ford boss guy?" I want to ask him some questions or whatever, and Rich to the front, and it's like, dude. And turn around and start it all over again. But he's going to be up there, so you ain't going to be able to directly get a hold of me over the next couple weeks. I'm going to ask that people on YouTube, if you're going to bring your car in, schedule with us and let us know where you're from and stuff like that. But for me to personally come off the floor to answer the phone, especially with me not automatically being there, not a good idea. The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I just have more experience on wrenching every day and being on the floor and stuff than him. I mean, he's got experience, don't get me wrong, but I have more experience, especially with like some of the harder stuff. So I think it's a good idea. Give him a little break. Get some workout a little faster and stuff like that, and really start cleaning up that lot, getting some of the cars out of there. So that's what I'm gonna, first thing this morning, that's what I start focusing on. So you guys wanted to talk about oil a little bit, and there's a bunch of new people here on the channel that wanted to talk about oil, and I want to address some people that try to resist and they try to push back when they're talking about these 10,000 mile oil changes, 15,000 mile oil changes, and they think because they do it, it's okay to do it because they get away with it, and there's been no adverse consequence to what they're doing. They think that it's okay because, oh, I've done it for 200,000 miles. Let me explain exactly where all this came from before any of you think that you're doing the right thing based on what the manufacturer says, because you're not. That's not what the manufacturer says. See, first of all, whenever you look at oil in general, a lot of people are like, well, I'll just run it 10,000 miles. They go by the miles. They go by the miles instead of actually the health of the oil. If you look at oil for the first couple thousand miles, it's typically pretty clean. Right at about 3,000 or 4,000 miles, it starts to get dirty. Starts to break down slowly. And the issue that I have with people is they try to justify continuing to run it. If you pull that oil, if you were to actually like smell the oil on the dipstick at 3,000, 4,000 miles, 5,000 miles, you'll start smelling fuel on that oil already. That pretty much tells you at that point you've got fuel dilution going on in that oil, and the oil is not performing at an optimal strength. And it's oil's job to remove contaminants and stuff like that may be in the system. That's why calcium and magnesium, the dispersant, detergent, the anti-acidity kind of compound. And when these manufacturers can come back and report, oh yeah, the oil changes are 10,000 miles, they're 7,500 miles, it gives them a certain standing with the EPA. They get certain EPA credits and stuff towards the way their maintenance schedules are put out for these vehicles. But if you pick up your owner's manual and you actually look in the owner's manual, you don't fit in the categories that say go 10,000 miles. You are what's considered a severe service category, which typically is between 5,000 and 6,000 miles in most manufacturers anyway. A lot of dealerships don't even give you the right information when it actually comes down to how the vehicle should be maintained. A lot of dealerships are telling you that it's okay to go 10,000 miles, but when you open your service manual, you see, or your owner's manual, you'll see that you don't even fit in that category, and they're actually telling you wrong. The reason a lot of dealerships tell you go 10,000 miles is because most of you, like if a lot of guys on here say, well, I have a maintenance plan with Toyota and I don't pay for my oil changes. The reason you don't pay for your oil changes is because they can get you in once a year. They're not really losing anything. They're buying the oil in bulk anyway. So if they can get you in there once a year, they're not losing anything. You've bought the vehicle. That was the spiff to buy the vehicle. That's a way for them to make you feel like they're doing something for you. That's a gimmick that the dealerships play. And then they give you a service contract or something on top of the contract you already have. They'll say this is a warranty contract to make you go back to only that dealership. A lot of dealerships don't have contracts where you can go to other dealerships and do business with them. It's only that dealership. Some of you got to pay attention to what's going on because you're being lied to, and you're regurgitating the information they're giving you as if it's Bible, and it's not. Most of you don't even know what you're talking about when it comes to oil changes, and a lot of you will give people information and say, well, I go 10,000 miles. You should go 10,000 miles too. If it works for me, it works for you. No, it doesn't. You don't know the health of that person's vehicle. You don't know how that vehicle's been maintained. You don't know if that vehicle has any issues, underlying issues that are starting to build up and cause issues. So why would you go telling somebody else that because you do it, and most of you don't even have the mechanical background that most of us do. Hell, look at the car care nut. He's the #1 Toyota specialist that we see on the internet. And the guy even says 5,000 miles. Brian, Blood, Sweat, and Gears from Ford Tech Make You Local. A lot of you guys love watching him. He's got 700,000 plus followers. He's another guy that spent a lot of time in the field. He tells you 5,000 miles. All those of you that watch me for my honesty and how brash I am, and I just get right to it. I'm 5,000 miles. Bearded Ford Tech. Same thing, 5,000 miles. All these guys that are in the field that you watch that tell you 5,000 miles is max, yet you still pop up and you're still like, no, I'm going to go 10,000 miles because I'm a cheap person and I don't care about my vehicle too much, and that's just what I want to do because I've been getting away with it, so I'm going to continue getting away with it, and that's just how it is. So I'm going to tell everybody that they should perform my bad habits because I perform those bad habits. And then people will be like, well, in Europe, they go 15,000, 20,000 miles because they're pushed to do that over there. And the oils that they have over there are not the same as the oils we have over here. Our oils over here that say 100% full synthetic, those oils are not 100% full synthetic here. Even the ones that say, if it says 100%, it's got to be here, it's not. None of them are. There's a very small percent, even AMSOIL, that's not full synthetic. But overseas, from what I gather, if they tell you it's full synthetic over there, the government says it has to be full synthetic. Whatever. If that's true, there's obviously a reason why their oils can go longer. But it's not true over here. It's a marketing gimmick. It's been that way. There's nothing full synthetic about it. I mean, it's got some synthetic, but it's not full synthetic. And a lot of people are considering Group 3 full synthetics now because of how they are processed. So maybe that's why they're saying it's 100% synthetic. Tomato, tomato, I guess. The best thing for you to do is just keep your vehicle serviced. To stop following people that say 10,000 mile oil changes are okay, that they do this. Just don't even listen to that crap. We don't make anything off you coming in for oil changes like you think. People are like, oh, look, this guy's a shop owner, this guy's this, blah, blah, blah. Well, the majority of my time on YouTube, I was just a tech at a dealership. Up until recently, I wasn't in management at an independent shop running the show. It's not who I was. So for those of you that resent and say that stuff, you're just talking out your blowhole. And I ain't talking about the one up top. And that's just the facts. Well, I hope you guys have a great day. I know what some people are going to think. We'll do a lab test. That'll tell you the finite answer to whether or not you should be changing your oil. No, it doesn't. Lab test is not going to tell you what kind of buildup is going on. It's not going to tell you what's going on inside that engine. It's not going to give you that information. It's going to give you the basics, and that's it. That's just the facts. Y'all have a great day. Be blessed, and I'll see you this morning whenever we live stream.